Hello students, welcome to the online session for the subject of industrial safety. The subject of industrial safety is mainly for the students of structural engineering, particularly civil engineering, and for the mechanical engineering. So this particular subject is for the postgraduate students. Okay, so as the name only suggests that the subject is related to the what are the safety precautions that is required to be taken in the industry to prevent the desire, either from the machine point of view, either or for the structural point of view, means the environment point of view. Everything should be work in a proper way, whether it is a machine or an equipment, and none of the workers should get uh, damaged because of this casualty. And ultimately the thing that is required to be done is only increase the efficiency and productivity of the industry by making the equipments much more efficient, long lasting, increased design life, good production, quality products. These are all the things that is required to be satisfied for a perfect industry, and that is why the industrial safety is required to be studied, so that all the things is required to be taken into the consideration, and the maximum benefit should be gained both from financial point of view and also from the life safety point of view also. Workers should be saved, they should have a proper healthy life, and the same time the owner or the yes, owner should have the good profits from this industry. So yes, these are all the things that we have discussed in this industrial safety. Now we have already discussed the module number 1, 2 and 3. Now we are moving towards the module number 4, and we are now moving towards the end of our session, this online session. So yes, we are moving towards the end. And we have completed many of the topics regarding an industrial hazards, wears, lubricants, oils, methods of lubrications. These are all the things. So yes, now let's see what are the next topics that we have to discuss. So definition of a fault tracing concept means what is the fault tracing concept? If a fault has occurred, and how it is required to be traced, so that we can get the origin, the source of the trace. Yes, and what are the activities uh, that are used in the fault tracing technique will be also discussed in this session. Importance of fault tracing will be discussed. Why we need to trace the fault, and definition tree concept, decision tree concept definition will be discussed. Logical path means the minimum time from which we can find the error, or the we can find the uh, analysis, any we can say any process is the logical path. Means with the least time, with a process that is completed within the least time is the logical path of that process. And steps will not in the decision tree concept, that will be also discussed in this, that also we are going to discuss in this session. Yes, first, fault tracing concept. The name only suggests that we have to trace the fault. Okay, the fault is required to be traced either by the experience or by taking some decisions. So it is an activity that because of the experience of the effect of the fault or the decision as which a machine is at a fault. So either taking some decisions or from the experience we can come to know that how this fault has occurred. The process that are involved in this tracing of the fault is measuring of the cracks, that it is related to number or related to dimension. Then checking of the cracks or checking of any other things or surfaces, and observing and repairing related scheme can be drawn from tracing. So these are all the things that is required to be done for a proper tracing. And whatever we study from this while tracing a fault or tracing any kind of fault, this whole process is termed as the fault tracing. checking all the reason to find the fault in any mechanism is called a fault trace. Means we have to go through all the evidence that we have got. We have to study each and every evidence, and we from that we can come to know that what was the source behind the formation of this fault. So yes, this is what the fault tracing is. We are just tracing the path. Just we are tracing the path in which the fault has occurred. And while tracing, somewhere we can come to know the origin, the source of that fault. And if the source is found, definitely we can rectify that fault. And definitely we can take that into the consideration while the construction or the while processing the other equipment. Activities that are used in the fault tracing technique means first of all we need to notice the effect of the fault on the machine, means how the fault is being dangerous to the machine. If the cracks are found, then how it is being reflected from the machine, and what are the jerks, cracks, vibration that are obtained that should be observed. And yes, the decision is very much uh, a relevant decision is required to be made in a faulty system. Then based on the design, visibility and noise, means whatever you see, whatever you observe, whatever you feel, whatever you what you found in the equipment should uh, decide the fault sub system of the machine. If the necessary fault in the system has stopping the machine, means if it is because it is found that if the fault is being there, then it might stop the machine. Inspection should be done, repairing of the machine should be done, then assemble the subsystem. Assembling of the subsystem should be done, then testing should be done. Fit of the subsystem of the machine at its subsystem, its location. Test and adjustment of the machine should be done. So these are all the activities that are involved in the tracing of the techniques. Importance of fault tracing. So what is the importance? Basically, we can come to know the effect of the fault. Okay, and next is by tracing is by hearing the sound, and by vibration and the heating we can found that whether friction has been occurred or not. The change in the motion can be found in visualization. The effect of the faulty can be decided from the machine, and we can by fault tracing technique we can come to know that whether the fault has been rectified or not, observing that whether desired outcome we have got or not. So this is how importance is there. Maintenance will be done properly if the tracing is being done. Yes, these are all the things that is required. Yes, design tree concept. Design tree concept is very much important. It is a logical method from which we can get a solution of some problem. So design tree diagram basically we are drawing, and mainly it involves the faults, the reasons that has caused the faults. Basically we are finding the reasons, and we are arranging it in a proper sequence so that we can trace the fault that is found in the mechanism of the machine. So this is why this is the sequence of arrangement of these reasons are the decision tree concept. Decision the diagram of the decision tree concept will mainly includes all the reasons that are used. Next is logical path. Means if you want to solve any problem, there are many methods, but a method which consumes the least time for finding the solution of the problem will be the logical path. That is the general summary of this logical path. Yes. So here also it is written that uh, if you know if want to find the fault, reasons are arranged in logical sequence. That is the logical path. Yes. But if the reason is checked and repaired with the minimum time, that should be first shown in the diagram. That will be the possible logic of that is got to be applied to find the solution. The decision tree is such like that only. And we have the decision logic. We have sequence of the formation of that logical path. Yes. First of all, we need to study the fault. how the fault has occurred, list of the factors that are responsible for the it, checking the calculation of the fault, logical path should be known. So this is how the decision tree concept will be made. So thank you for attending my session. This is Professor Akash Harsutar. See you in the next session. Thank you.